Welcome to Hugh What Where, the show where curiosity leads the way. I'm Hugh Views, and I've always been intrigued by people, their stories, their thoughts, and the little things that make them who they are. Some questions may stay surface level, while others might dig a little deeper. Let's see where we go with today's guest. Lapin Mignon is an artist whose wide-eyed characters pull you gently into delicate, handmade worlds. Her work feels like a quiet dream that's soft, detailed, and filled with emotion. Whether digital or physical, her pieces invite you to pause and look closer. Over 3 years ago, we collaborated on a physical watercolor that crossed an ocean to be finished and was then sent back to the collector. That's the kind of magic her work holds. It travels, connects, and leaves a mark long after you've seen it. Hi, thanks for joining me today. Are you ready for a few questions?
I am, and I'm so glad to be with you. I'm so excited since you sent me this little message that we will do something together. I mean, this time it won't be watercolor based, but whatever, let's do it. I'm ready for it. And I have to say, it would be, I will have it. It would be fun, and I'm not aware at all of your questions, so let's do it.
They won't be too hard. I'll try to keep them soft like your artwork. It'll be fine.
Oh, thank you.
I don't feel like I need to say it, but I will say your artwork is so stinking beautiful. Like the flowiness of everything is so great. But we can get into that in a minute. All right. Can I ask you what draws you to certain colors?
I knew it would be complicated. So now it's time for me to leave this conversation.
You're like, and goodbye.
Oh my god. Okay.
That was the perfect response.
You know what? I think it's something about great spirits, because I was thinking about it this morning. I was having a look, at my artworks, behind me. And I was questioning the same questions. Why am I using the same colors? And you know what? I think I found probably a little answers. I love nature.
Mm-hmm.
So it has to be related with nature, because I think nature is part of my childhood. And as you know, a lot of my artwork are basically done with a lot of nostalgia, about my childhood. Not a sad nostalgia, but this kind of sweet nostalgia that you can feel.
Oh,
and
yes.
This is how I feel with my childhood, which was beautiful, and it all related with being connected to the nature. I come from Normandy in France. And Normandy, you've got this kind of lights that is very soft, because it's very, it's very mild temperature. You always have a soft cloudy sky. You have huge countryside, very green. It's the green that the shades of green that you've got in my home regions are basically going from the very deep green to something that could be in the yellowish green. And I'm realizing that my palette is made a lot of it. But as well, the sea is something that is a lot there. And the sea in my region is going from colors that could go from, gray, because it's, again, it's we've got this kind of weather, where it could be raining, 5 minutes before, and then we have a really nice soft sun, 5 minutes after, and the sea will go from different color, from gray to a deep blue, going sometime in this kind of teal, this kind of teal color, and I cannot. So when I'm having a look to my palette, I think there is something very linked to nature, something very, very, very natural, and it has to. I'm always trying to find some harmony as well between them. So yeah, and they are blending.
They look like they live in a family, and that's so good to me. Like, they just your colors, like, you don't have to necessarily like a palette, but there's definitely like colors that like you stick with, and I I love that. Like, I mean, I think we all kind of do in a way. We all are drawn to stuff, but I think nature was like the perfect answer for you. Besides, I'm leaving this conversation saying that saying nature is like, because it is like you very much are like, it seems like outdoorsy and all that stuff. So it's very, yeah, it's very calming along with nature. So
Thank
that's
you.
amazing. You and your family travel a little bit. It seems like, at least what I've seen. Do you have a
Mm.
favorite place to visit? Where would that be?
So we just back from Prague. So
Ooh.
20 years ago, we moved to Prague with my now husband. We lived there for 2 years, and actually, this is where I met. Fanny Lacoubey.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is where we met actually in Prague. So we were the two French lady, starting our career adventure, and we both were in Prague, in Czech Republic, and it's you know what, it's very rare that you can have. I had a stroke the first time I went in Prague because it's such a beautiful city, but as well, as soon as you leave it, something staying with you.
Hmm.
It's like keeping, it be in your brain, in your soul. And I knew the moment I visited for the first time the country, I knew that I wanted to be back, and this is how I went back and I lived there for 2 years, and it was a beautiful experience. Uh, and actually it's very far from the sea because it's very in the central of Europe, so
Oh yeah,
I was
yeah.
missing the sea so much. But there is it's hard. There's a lot of Art Nouveau, very Art Deco everywhere, and I went back a month ago actually with my children because they really wanted to. We were always talking about Prague with my husband, and they wanted to visit it. And my Arthur, is 9
Yeah.
now, and is fond of languages, and probably because he's growing up in the French and English languages, and he discovered a few months ago Duolingo, and obviously he's learning,
Oh.
I think, 40 languages at one go.
Oh my
Right?
god.
I don't think this is really efficient, but he loves basically. So, you can come one day, in his bedroom, it would be in Chinese. Another day, it would be, I mean, he's got a little friend, a Ukrainian little friend, so it would be Ukrainian. And
Wow.
now he's Czech and German. So it's basically say, okay, let's go there. So you will be able to practice a little bit your German because we went through Germany, and then your Czech. So it was really fun. We had a really really great time. And you know what is fantastic about this city, and I feel it's really there is something linked with myself. When I went back, if even after over 17 years, I haven't forgotten anything. So I'm able basically to move in the city by foot
Oh
everywhere
wow.
without getting lost. And even the language, I speak a little bit of Czech, and I couldn't speak it. If you try to speak to me in French now, and in Czech now, I would be like, no. But as soon as I basically were there, I was able. My Czech was coming back in, and it was like a beautiful experience. I feel like I've got a deep, deep, deep connection with Czech Republic. And if I were a little bit romantic, I'm pretty sure that I may have past life, because there's very something very special
That's
with
so
Prague.
cool. And that was the first time you took the boys? That was the first time you took your kids?
Yeah,
Oh, that's
yeah, yeah,
so
yeah.
cool.
They love it. They love it. I think they say it's their favorite city now, so it's something that really really matter as well for me. So yeah, it's cool.
That's so cool that you guys have like a family like place that you all like to go to. Oh, that's so I love that. I love that for you guys. That's so good. And especially with him taking up all those languages, like even if a few more stick, like that's incredibly insane. That's so good for him. Like wow, that's impressive.
Is you will laugh. I think he was not even 5 or 6 years old. He found like some I think because I was doing some Czech when I was in university, and Czech is a Slavic language. Okay, I'm not sure this is where the direction you wanted your podcast to go, but Czech is a Slavic language, and it's a very old Slavic language. And basically, once you start talking a little bit of a Slavic language, you can start to understand more or less the other, like Polish, like
Okay.
Ukrainian, like even Russian. And I realized at one point, I said, oh, okay, so probably I should learn a little bit of Cyrillic. So at least if I can basically try to I'm able basically to understand a little bit other languages. And
Yeah.
and when he was 5 or 6 years old, he found this Cyrillic alphabet translation with our Latin alphabet and our Cyrillic. He got passionate about it, and he came to his classroom and he started to translate all his friends and professors' name into Cyrillic. And one day we've been called by the school saying, "What is happening? What have you done?" I was like, I say, okay. I say, is that? I say, oh no, it's yeah. I think for him it's like like a code. So it was really fun for him.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh my gosh, no, that's so cool. That's odd. That's so funny that the school was like, what is happening to your child? What is he doing? That's so fun though. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to hear how many languages he's gonna end up actually speaking. That is so cool to me. Uh wow, I'm like stunned by that. That's amazing. Okay, so you mentioned nature already, but when you create with nature, is there stuff that you notice that would otherwise get missed? Because I mean, your work is so detailed. So
You mean I will miss in the nature?
yeah, like there's like random things that like I would imagine like branches or leaves, right? Like looking at the veins of the leaves, like you don't really look at that stuff when you're just passing, but when you pull that stuff when I see your pictures, I notice that kind of stuff like with the like when you pull stuff and you utilize that in your stuff. When your artwork, it just looks like there's so much more detail and like you kind of pull from that, I guess. Maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I'm really working with what's around me. So at the moment, it's a lot from my garden. I've got a very, very, very tiny garden. It's even a patio, but because we kept it on purpose very wild, because it enables as well to get a lot of animals. Yeah, yesterday I rescued a bird because we got a bird nest. So it's a very, very
Oh my
small, like
gosh.
pretty British, it should be a patio. We left the nature basically to cover, and there was a little bird which was basically just 1 day old, and he fell from the nest. I
Oh.
managed to put it back without touching it, and apparently he's still in the nest with the other ones and still being fed. So all good for him.
Oh
But
wow.
but
Wow. Look at you leaning into your name. Like you're like, I am one with nature. I am an animal. I am one. Wow. That's so cool though.
But yeah, we've got so many. There is a lot of life in, and yeah, there is a lot of life, and we are really careful about life. And again, it's a small garden, but every animal deserves, to have their space there. We've got a little mouse, which
Oh.
is lives in the wall for the last 3 years, and it's now so old that we didn't realize at the very beginning. We was like, oh yeah, we're pretty sure it couldn't be the same, but actually it's still the same, and now it's becoming very, very old, and
Oh.
it's on its own. But we basically, yeah, and actually yesterday night as well, my husband rescued a bee, and we've got this little bee feeder. So basically, to make sure. Anyway, so this is how
Oh
close
my
we are.
gosh. So you have like
We are
yeah,
from
your logo
nature.
your logo is a bee essentially. You've got a mice looking for your little cheese moon design. Like it's all you're just for the animals. That's what it is. That's so cool
It's
though.
a
Oh.
lot of minions,
Yeah, right?
inspiration
A lot of little
everywhere.
things everywhere. Oh, that's so cute. Oh, of course that's what your family's doing. That doesn't surprise me at all.
So so everything is coming from my garden. We've got a lot of, so it's typically British vegetation. So there is a lot of ferns, a lot of I don't even know the name because we haven't even planted them, but there are a lot of leaves basically. I've got an herb garden as well with a lot of parsley, and I'm using all of this in my salad, but as well in my painting. So
Oh, that's
basically
so good. You're like, I
living
get
on
to
the
You get to multi-use garden. That's amazing.
Exactly. But every time I'm moving somewhere else, I think 3 years ago I was in the on a Mediterranean island,
Mm.
beautiful island, and we had to cross the sea to go there, and the vegetation was very different, and I pick up some vegetation from here. There were like eucalyptus. We got as well this really nice purple flower. I'm not a scientist, I'm not I'm not in the botanical
Yeah.
field, so basically it's pretty. This is its color, but I'm not even able to tell you the name. But I'm using this, and and when it was drying, when the painting was drying on my way back to the land, I basically hold the paint on the boat, at the end of the boat, so it was sprayed by the seawater,
Oh.
and actually it left a little bit of marks on it. So yeah. And the
Oh.
other thing as well I'm using in nature is, I think it was last year, a couple of years ago, I'm leaving some from time to time my painting outside to be able to dry. And one day it was pouring rain, and I was like, okay, it's not the it was like proper British summer, pouring rain. It was like a stormy rain. And you know what? I took my painting and I still put it outside, so it was pouring rain on it. And at one point, there was a little slug basically going on the painting and crossing it, and basically it became the inspiration. I don't think you can see if you don't know, what happened to the painting and what are the marks of nature on it. But I love, that you can tell the story about it, keep the recall of it. This is why I create a lot of memoir.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, it's something. So yeah, nature is very, very, very present, and I think it's because we are grateful of it, and we are as much as we can respecting it.
Oh, your little family. I love you guys. Oh, it's so good. Okay, so you mentioned water via rain. Did you lean into watercolor for any particular reason?
My dad used to do. He's always doing a lot. I mean, he's not doing so much anymore, but he used to do a lot of watercolor.
Oh.
I think it's because he loves the seaside. He loves basically staying on the seaside, and the watercolor it's pretty small. You can carry it everywhere with you,
Mm-hmm.
so that's quite cool. For me, it was quite a late one. I love crafting. I love doing things that are probably bigger. I've got drawers full of like rusted metals. Big
Ooh.
piece of wood. A piece of glasses, and even before the my kids were born, uh, I've got a degree in how you call it, in Smith,
Oh, like
how do you
black?
call it?
Was it blacksmith? Black?
Blacksmith, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Where you basically so. But as soon as you start to become parents, you don't have time to do so.
Yeah.
You don't have space to do so, and you realize as well that all these things can be dangerous, and
Oh yeah.
you have, especially when they're young, you really have to be available, if they need something, so you cannot start something and then finish it. So the watercolor is I realize it, very, very. I mean, at the beginning when I became a mom, saying, okay, probably the watercolor could be a nice. I mean, and I wanted as well to become better in watercolor. It's easy to take out. It's easy as well to take away. Once the kids are awake or whatever. So I think it was very, very handy. So this is how it started, and then I quite as and I quite I think I've chosen the watercolor because there is something as well which is you can blend the color, and I think I don't know, when you're a kid, I think the first thing you do when you start, doing your painting, and I can see it with my children, is basically the biggest fun, in it is to mix the color in your pot of water.
Oh yeah.
And to see how they and I think this the watercolor is a little bit of this, you know, it's very watery, you can mix color, you know, it's quite fun to do. And if you do mistakes, it's quite unapologetics, because it's, you know, you cannot erase it, you know, there's no way to you know, it's when it blends, it's you know, it bleeds very easily on the paper, and that's okay. I think this is what I'm looking for. It's all the imperfection, and I think with watercolor there's so much imperfection. So I'm like, let's go for it. Let's embrace it. And yeah, it's a little bit of story of my life, to be fair. But the more mistakes and the more it looks ugly. And at one point I was like, let's carry on, until I'm like, wow, oh wow, you know, I'm glad, you know, you know, I haven't thrown the paper away. And I think the watercolor, there is something about it, like, let's embrace it. It will never be perfect. It will never be, you know, sharp, straight. It will never be. You have to play with the color. You have to play with the water, with the paper absorption. The paper will at one point as well, you know, becoming a little bit wavy. It's okay. It's let's roll with it.
It's texture.
It's texture, yeah. It's it.
No, that's
It's
good. That's a
what
really.
did
I
yeah.
didn't
What do
realize.
you like yourself as well about watercolor? Because I'm talking a lot about myself, but
This is about you. No, I actually because I wrote when I wrote my questions, I was like, it's the flowiness of it and the unpredictability of it for me was what I was thinking about, and I think you hit both of those. Like, it's just the way everything kind of, you can't really control it, right, without putting the, like, the actual, like, what is it, the paper, not the paper, the, like, the glue stuff where you have to, like, peel it up later. I can't even think of what that's called right now. So it's like, without actually letting the water just take over. Yeah, I think that was like my favorite part of, like, when I do it. Actually,
yeah.
I got
You
some.
never know what you will get, right?
Yeah,
It's
yeah. And Bananakin just got me a gift of some, like, watercolor pencils, which I didn't even know existed. So I'm very
oh
excited to try
yeah.
those out. Yeah, he's like, you add water later. I was like, okay, let's try these. So
Oh, this is so cool.
yeah,
It's
obviously,
very
and I thought of you when I got them, of course.
it's very different. It's very different to work with it, but it's very cool. I got this. I think my parents gave it to me. Gave it, you know, like this huge box of watercolor pencils when I
Ooh.
was yeah, well, I think I was 14 years old, and this is when I realized that they were supporting my you know, me being a creative person, and
Oh,
it means a lot.
yeah, that's amazing. So that was like that's what they gave you, those pencils?
Yes, it's a huge box.
Oh.
I still have it. I'm still using it. You know, like a proper, you know, really nice box with all the pencils, and yeah, it's really really cool.
Oh, that's so
Enjoy it.
sweet. That's so cute. I love that. Oh, that's so. But that's got to feel very special, like, to be able to keep that and have that box, but then to know, like, your parents gave you that and that was like a supportive thing. So that's so cool. I like that.
That is.
Okay, it's the last question, and it might be the biggest thinker, and I apologize in advance. How has a piece of life advice changed the way that you think, and what's something, and maybe it's that you would pass on to somebody? It doesn't have to be about art. It could be life. It could be literally anything. You know, don't cross the road without looking both ways. I don't know.
Actually, this is definitely one piece of advice I would give to any French and British people, you know, crossing the sea, because we on both sides we are not driving in the same side of the road, so it's very very tricky. So you're used to have a look on both sides, you know, before crossing, because you yeah. I think there is a lot of accident between us.
I bet. I didn't even think about that. So it's like a flip flop of driving when you get back.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh
yeah.
wow.
When you cross we usually cross the tunnel by car, and you have to change side on the road. So you have to
Oh.
remember. So basically, You take the tunnel on one side, and then when at the other end of the sea, once you hit France or UK, you have to change side. It's okay on motorways because you don't have choice,
Oh
but as soon
yeah.
as you start to have a roundabout or whatever, it's a gymnastic for your brain, definitely.
Wow. Wow, yeah, I didn't even think about that whole thing. Wow. Okay, good to know. Not that I've ever been over there, but I'll remember that.
No, the biggest advice I mean, there is two, and I will tell you. I will give you probably one that has been a good advice, and one which I recently realized it has been such a bad advice, and it's probably more in the professional space. But the first one is coming from my mum. She always say it's a Napoleon say that it's basically if you let me put it in a good English.
I was gonna say
But
translate it for us.
yeah, but it's basically okay. I'm trying to put it in French first. If you want, you can, and if you can, you should. It has this power to say if you really wish for something, then you can do it. So every time I was saying to my mom, I can't, I'm not that clever, I'm not that gifted, and she was like, no, 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 don't tell me that. If you really want something, you can. And it's and when she was saying that, when I was a kid, I was like, come on, the willpower, really, I know that I can't, but now it's probably the thing that I'm repeating to my kids. And the second half, basically, if you can, you should. And it's something that she was stopping at the can, basically. If you want, if you really want something, you can. But if the second half that she didn't know about this say was that if you can, you should. And I think it's quite an important one as well, especially in the all the climate at the moment. It's quite important as well that if you have a superpower, or if you have a power, or even just a will to do something, it's really important that you do, because it's there is an emergency, for like in the climate, in the environment, for instance,
Mm-hmm.
to be able to do things, and to feel that you have the mandate and almost the authority to do, if you really feel like feel that something needs to be done. So that's something that really resonates with me, because uh, I think it's I've been through a life path where sometimes things were not the path were not done. And I think about us, in crypto art, in the blockchain space. If you stop by the entrance and say, "Oh my God, it's too complicated. No, okay, not for me." You basically, leave everything, and you stay in a comfort zone. But actually, at one point, you have to say, "Okay, you should give it a go." And if you really want to give it a go, I'm pretty sure you would be able to succeed. So, yeah, something really important. And the second one, which is the bad advice, and and I hate basically this is basically 15 years ago. In the I'm working. I've got an office work, and someone told me that it's very important, basically, to prove yourself, as much as possible. I don't remember the word, but there is a very, very strong word, and now, obviously, because I'm talking to you, I forgot this word. But
You're all good.
oh, bless. But it's all about to stay in your position,
Oh, okay.
to look as confident, to make sure that you basically probably you want something, and you go for it. And at one point, I was like, yeah, it's a good advice. I should be more, this kind of confident woman, in life. And I try to be it. But to be fair, it was really content nature. it's not about confidence. I think it has to be something about who you are. And
Yeah.
I am a soft person. I am a nice and kind person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I have to embrace it, and it's okay. And if the corporate world doesn't like it, it's okay. It's a big miss for them. But I won't change.
Yeah.
I won't change anymore for corporations, so or for any work. So I think that is just wanted to give as well on this second one, because there are good advice in life, but there are as well really bad advice, and it took years.
Yeah, no, it's very true. On the second one, yeah, you're like, I'm just gonna be me. Like, just don't be a jerk to me. Like, that's fine. And then, when you mentioned the first one, you mentioned blockchain and like not wanting to get started, to be scared or whatever. And honestly, that was me until Bananakin showed me honestly your artwork, and he was like, look, like
Mhm.
there's women out here that are doing this that like are putting the art out that they want, because it was all digital what I was seeing. So I'm like, I'm a physical maker too. Like that's not going on the blockchain. He's like, yes, like we can make it happen like that. So you were definitely a big inspiration for me to even like you and Christy, and like there was there was only a few handful that I was like, oh wow,
Oh,
like that's very very like there's women out there that are doing this and like they're making beautiful artwork, and it's not digital. So I want to say thank you for that, because that, whether you know it or not, you pushed me to like to do that, and I'm very thankful for you being out there and like putting yourself out there and constantly sharing it and making new stuff and all of that. It's very impressive, and I'm very grateful and thankful for your friendship, and then for you as a human. Like
oh.
you are a kind and soft and gentle human, and I love that about you. Like you are so kind to me and like and everybody. So I just want to thank you for that too.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, and I remember, now you're talking about it, our first exchange, on Twitter, and I remember you saying that, and I'm so glad, because it's we've done, we managed to do art together, we
Yeah.
managed to grow together as well. So
Oh, I just got
it's
chills. I did. I was like,
it's
oh.
it's really cool. I'm not, I don't, I don't want, to I don't want it to feel like, I'm here. I'm not. I hope, I'm not here to inspire people, but I'm here to basically to be with people and to welcome people, and it's so cool. So I think we've done so much together, and I've been inspired as well, by what you are doing, because you're always trying, new media, and it's always, try to relate it as well to blockchain, and your broderie. I don't know, should we say stitching, not broderie?
Embroidery sweat. Whatever's easier to say.
Your broderie is beautiful,
Oh,
magnifique.
thank you.
And
Oh, bust out the French for me. Thank you.
yeah, it's I mean, it's just one example of what you are doing, but it's always out of there, it's always out of the box, and and your as well, your joyous life, sense of living as well, is contagious.
Oh,
So
you stop it.
um
This is about you, not me. No, I appreciate it. I definitely do, and yeah, I could say thank you forever and ever, but I like, you sent me little gifts, like they're hanging up in my office. I'm looking at it now. Like I'm just thankful for you and all of the stuff that you've done in the past so many years
oh,
in the space, and then just being you while doing work and living your life and having kids. So, um, so yeah,
yeah, having fun,
yeah,
having
yeah,
fun with
exactly. At
life.
least you get to have fun and go travel and all of that stuff. So, yeah, it seems like you have a very supportive family. So that is
I have.
amazing to hear. So, I'm gonna end it, but I just want to say thank you one more time, and it's always
Thank
a pleasure.